Hi there, my name is Alex, and today I want to show you how to split up a county list or a raw owner list into multiple lists. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, we get the question quite often, and we run into this scenario ourselves quite often where we get a large list from a county. So even after applying the filters like out-of-state owners and within certain value ranges of the property and land only, etc., we might end up with a list of 10,000 property records. And if we import that list of 10,000 records into the Investment Dominator, what happens is the Investment Dominator will, by default, generate 10,000 letters. Now, as you can imagine, we don't have the capacity to take that many phone calls. Even though a percentage of those people will call us, usually around, let's say, between 10 and 25% will call us back, even still, that is way too many letters to be sending out, and that would generate too many phone calls. So instead, we like to split those larger lists up, like the list of 10,000, into smaller bite-sized mailings. So let's say mailings of sizes like 500 letters or 1,000 letters. And we would send those out periodically, like once a week or every other week, and so that we have a steady stream of incoming calls that we can process. Now, what we recommend always is if you don't have any type of experience or you have no comfort level with dealing with data in Excel or common data processing programs like Excel or Access, that you actually outsource this step. And we provide information on how to outsource this step. It's very affordable. You can get a professional data processor for anywhere from $20 to $50 typically to process a list into the exact format you need for the Investment Dominator, and that you can also have them split those lists into smaller lists like we're talking about here. So if you have no interest in learning data processing, you don't have any experience in it, then I would ignore this tutorial and just simply outsource a step. It's easier and it's pretty affordable to do that. But if you do have a little bit of experience in data processing and you're just wondering how we do it, then there is actually a pretty easy function that you can enter into Excel, and it'll automatically split up your list into smaller lists. And so I'm going to show you that right now. So here we've got a list in Florida, Duval County, and the list, I'm going to open it up in Excel. You can see here the list only has 179 records, really. Now, what I want to do, this is not a whole lot of records, but I want to illustrate a point here. It doesn't matter if this list has 179 records or 10,000 records. The thing that I'm going to explain here actually works regardless of the number of records, because it is a function, okay? And the computer is doing all the work. So what you want to do is, you'll notice at the top here that I have a developer tab. Now, a lot of people don't know when you open up Excel, just by default, you're not going to have this developer tab. So in order to see this, you're going to click on File, and then you're going to click on the Options tab. That's going to bring up this little dialog here, and under where it says Customize Ribbon, you want to make sure that this developer option is checked, okay? By default, like I said, if you've never used this option before, it's probably unchecked, and therefore you don't see this tab. You can see here if it's unchecked, it's just completely gone. So if you don't see the developer tab, then you want to go on here, File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and then check the developer tab, click OK at the bottom, and then you're going to see it pop up. All right, now that we've got the developer tab, we're going to click on this option that says Visual Basics. This is where you can actually enter in some functions. On this mode here, you're going to right-click over where it says Sheet 1, and then you're going to click where it says View Code. This is going to be blank in most cases, and that means that you just don't have any custom functions running at this time. So you can see here it's blank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a copy of this code in the article that accompanies this video, because you can actually get this code off the internet. That's what I did. I just Googled it, and it's a little function like this. I did kind of customize it a little bit, but basically I got this off the internet. you can just copy and paste this. Like I said, I'm going to put this in the article, so you could just copy what I have in the article and right click copy it, and then go back into your Excel, and then what you're going to do is right click and paste it, and it'll look something like this. All right, so there's only two things in here that you need to worry about. It looks kind of complex, but you don't really have to worry about a whole lot. All you have to worry about is these two lines right here that I am highlighting for you. The first is how many records do you want in each file? Okay, and like I said previously, I only had 179 records, so if I keep it at 100, then I'm basically going to split my list into two files, one with 100 and one with 79. So what I want to do instead, just to make it interesting, I'm going to split this in lists of 10 records each, so you can see that it can do quite a bit of work for you. The other variable that you need to set or think about is where do you want to save the file. So this script is going to save a bunch of files, and you got to tell the system or the script where to save it. Now by default, if you just leave it blank, for example, if you just do this, it's going to save it under your documents folder. Again, I'm using a Windows computer, and the default directory is going to be my documents. But I don't want to save it in my documents. I've got other stuff in there, and I want to put it in a subfolder. The subfolder that I created is called sample list. Okay, you can see that here, document sample list. So I want to make sure all my files get saved in this folder. All right, so I put in sample list and then the back slash. That's going to save the files there. All right, so with these two variables set, you really don't have to worry about anything else. All you have to do is close out of this window here. So click close at the top right. And then over here where it says run macro, it's a little play button. You're going to click that, and it's going ahead and run and execute that script. So it pulls up this little window that says macros, and it's already highlighted the script that we want to run. And all we're going to do is hit run. And once we do that, you're going to see the page blink a few times, because every time it's saving a new worksheet, it's basically going to blink like this. But right now it's just going through, and every 10 records it's going to create a new CSV file for us that we can import into the Investment Dominator. Alright, so that thing ran, and we'll go and check our folder out. So now you can see that we have right here 20 files that were created from the original list. So and each file has 10 records in it, approximately. So we can go in there and we can import the first one with 10 records. If I load that, you can see here it's got exactly 10 records. And then if I go back and check the second list here, we've got another 10 records here. I go back and check another list here, and we got another 10 records. So, and so on and so forth. So this is an easy way to split up your big list. It might have 10,000 records, it might have 5,000 records, it might have 50,000 records. It doesn't really matter, because the script is doing all the work, and all you need to do is tell it how many records do you want to split this up. And just to reiterate that point again, I'm going to open this file up again and run it a different way. So I'm going to go back to the Developer tab. I'm going to go to Visual Basics again. I'm going to right-click and view the code. It's empty again because I'm opening it up a second time. I'm going to go back to my original script and copy it and paste it in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this to, let's just keep it at 100 records. And so what it's going to do is when I close out of this and I run the macro, it's going ahead and create two files for me. So if I open up the directory again, you can see here's the two files. The first one has exactly 100 records. You can see that here. And the second list, if I close out of this one, right here is actually going to have exactly 80 records. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post the script here. You can check it out. You can alter it if you know how to write VB code. Or you can just copy and paste it like I just showed you here. Or if you're not comfortable with any of this, like I said before, we recommend that you outsource this step to a data processor. They can do it very quickly for very little money usually, and because it doesn't take very much time. And then you don't have to worry about this at all. So anyways, I hope this helps. If you were wondering how we do that, cheers!